2022. Hope everyone has had an amazing week so far. I know I have. I'm ready to finish this week off strong. So here we go, closing out this week's of live sessions with part 2 of values elicitation. So if you haven't been watching my videos so far this week, just a quick recap. So how this works is what we've started off with is to close the loop on anything in the past that may be affecting us in the current moment and that we're bringing into the future. That's the first day. The second day, what we did was we understood how to create a well-formed outcome, something that really drives us, something that is very clear in our mind what we want in the not so distant future, but far enough in advance where we know that we are changing some things in our life to help us accomplish that. And then yesterday, what we started doing was understanding what drives us. There are certain values which drive the goals that we set, the things that we want in our life. And if we are able to fulfill those values, and if we are able to bring to conscious attention those values, then whether or not we achieve those specific outcomes will be irrelevant. Now, I'm not saying that we will magically just stop going after them because we would not be fulfilling our values. What we then would be doing would be focusing on the present and whether we are fulfilling our values, and not so much on hitting some made up outcome that we believe will give us happiness. Yeah. And instead of chasing the next thing and next thing and next thing, we'll be focused on the present and asking ourselves, am I fulfilling what is important to me in this moment? So this changes everything, especially when it comes to trading. So we're not like, okay, this quarter I want to be able to make $5,000 a month. Okay, yeah, maybe you might need to do that to hit your expenses, to pay off your expenses, yeah, or to cover your expenses, excuse me. So, yeah, that's a great goal to have. But what are you doing in the moment to help you get there? And are you fulfilling the values which are really important as to why you got into trading in the first place? Yeah. So try this out. And I shared this with you guys yesterday. I am going to be offering a free worksheet where you can actually do this by yourself and write down write down the goals and write down your values and your qualities, which we're going to be going over today, so that everything will be explicit. And I mentioned this, I think, either on day 1 or day 2, that the idea here is to not change, but bring to conscious attention what has previously been unconscious. Yeah, because at the end of the day, there's a certain portion of our minds which we are consciously aware of, and there's a vast portion that we are unconsciously not aware of. Yeah. So what we want to do is bring some of these unconscious processes which drive our behavior, which influence our decision making, which sometimes bring us down, bring that into conscious awareness, so that then we can decide, okay, how do we want to proceed with this, right? And I'm not going to say that we're going to do all of that in these 12 days, but we are going to do that very first part, which is the most important part, because once it's in our awareness, we can then know how best to proceed. Yeah. So without much ado, let's go ahead and begin. You guys know the drill. 3 deep breaths in and out. Just get grounded, open body, open mind. Once you've done that, bring to mind some of the values that you came up with yesterday. And just to recap a little bit, what we did was, here was the outcome that we wanted. We asked ourselves, by the way, reach out if you have any problem with this. I'd be happy to help you guys. And if you are so courageous, please do sign up for a free coaching session with me where we go over this specifically for at least one of your outcomes. And it's hard to put into words how impactful this could be for something which has been unconscious for so long. Yeah. So for any part of your life, this can be useful, not just for your trading or your financial, your career goals, but for your relationships, for your communication, for your health, whatever it is. Yeah. So if you had trouble with this yesterday, try this again today and see if it works. If it doesn't, reach out. What will that do for me? So we said, okay, here's the outcome that we wanted. And we asked ourselves, what will that do for me? Or what is important to me about having that goal? And we asked ourselves that question. And I gave you guys an example of me working through this myself. And I kept asking myself that question until I came up with something that really resonated. So here are the values that resonated with me that I shared with you guys yesterday. In no particular order: gratitude, empowered, presence, freedom, connection, growth, and accomplishment. These came from my goal. These came from my goal of making X amount in my coaching business by April 1st, 2022. So it's very explicit what I wanted. And I said, okay, what is important to me really about achieving that goal? And these are the values that I came up with. We'll let this figure itself out real quick. So then the next thing to do is, we'll make it back here. There we go. All right. So the next thing to do from here, once you have your values, is to rank them. So what you're going to do is ask yourself this or this. So for example, for me, I would say, what's more important for me? Presence or empowered? So here we go now. And it's what's called a fluid hierarchy, right? And we call it that, or a heterarchy. And the reason we call it that is because it could always be shifting based off of the context. And over time, you might realize, okay, actually, this might be more important to me than this. Yeah, so that's all fine, right? So it's just specific for this context. And right now, in this time in your life, ask yourself, do I value this or this more? So do that for each pair. You don't have to do for all pairs until you find like, okay, this is organizing itself into a decently good hierarchy. So for example, I would ask myself, okay, what's important to me? Connection or gratitude? And in this case, I said gratitude is really more important to me than connection. Growth or freedom? Freedom is more important to me. Accomplishment or connection? And I said connection was more important to me. So I organized my 7 values that I had yesterday into this ranking, this hierarchy. And then, this is cool, what quality or qualities do I need to embody to fulfill those values? So some of these could be very easy, right? For example, presence. Let's do that. Am I present? Or sorry, the quality that is that would associate itself with presence is present. Yeah, like, am I present? Empowered. That's an easy one too. Empowered. Gratitude. Grateful. Connection. Am I connected? Freedom. This is an important one. Am I free? Yeah. Am I free to what, though? Am I free to, in my case, I would say I am free to be myself. If I have freedom, I'm free to be all of myself. So the way that I would equate that is being authentic. So authentic would be the quality that is associated with freedom. Growth. Am I growing? Accomplishment. Am I accomplished? Do I feel accomplished? So those are the qualities that I would write down. So most of them are the same. For freedom, I would say authentic. For some, there could be multiple. That's why I said qualities. So for example, if you said love, you could say loving, the quality of loving, like, am I loving? And the quality of being lovable, am I lovable? Yeah. So map those values to certain qualities that you might need to embody to fulfill that value. And then next, you're going to ask yourself, am I that quality? Am I that quality? So I would say, am I present? Am I empowered? Am I grateful? Am I authentic? Am I creative? So you ask yourself these questions, and then you answer them either with a congruent yes, yes, I am that. Like your body also confirms your answer. You would have an ambiguous answer. You're like, sometimes, not quite. And it's not in this context. This is just in your general life. Are you that quality? So you have an ambiguous answer maybe, or you'd say, no, not at all. Like I would say most of the time I'm not. Maybe like a few times I've done it, or like not at all I've done it. So one of those three choices, yeah? And you're either very congruent and it's a yes. You're like, yeah, maybe, sometimes, or it's a no. So for example, here's what I answered yesterday. Am I present? I would say I'm ambiguous. I would not be honest with myself if I said I'm yes, present all the time. Am I empowered? I would say I'm still also ambiguous on that. Am I grateful? I would say also I'm ambiguous about that, even though empowered and grateful have made huge strides in when I first did this exercise, since I first did this exercise. Am I authentic? Also made big strides, but I'm still ambiguous. I'm not like F yes, I'm ambiguous, or F yes, I'm authentic. Am I creative? I believe I'm creative. Am I growing? No doubt, I believe I'm growing. Am I accomplished? I also believe I'm accomplished. Not where I want to be, but I'm accomplished. So ask yourself these questions and write down whether it's a yes, ambiguous, or negative. And a bonus, this is something that I found could be very useful for yourself, which is to assign KPIs for each value to measure your progress or your commitment for that specific value. So KPI, by the way, if you guys don't know, is a key performance indicator. So you can say, okay, what is a KPI for me being present? Starting off my day with meditation and not looking at my phone for the last 30 minutes or the last 30 minutes of each day. Am I doing that? So it could be a binary answer. Am I doing that or am I not doing that? It's a simple KPI. How many days out of the week am I doing that? Another one, for example, for grateful could be, do I show my gratitude in the mornings by either pulling out my journal or giving thanks to my life, like something like that. Or another one could be, am I like for creative? This is a cool one. So am I putting out content X times a week, right? How many times per week am I putting out content, let's say? So that's another key performance indicator to show whether you're progressing, whether you have commitment towards that specific value, which is of importance to you. And it's a process goal, and it's a key performance indicator of your progress at that time. Not far out into the future, not for the specific goal that you want, not so that you only hit that goal, but you work towards that goal on a daily, weekly basis. So try this out. And all of this, by the way, is going to be in this worksheet that I'm going to be giving out for free in my group, because it's going to be useful, I believe, because it's been useful for me and for others that I know I've worked with on this. So that's it for today for value solicitation. That's it for this week. We're going to be back next week for day 5, where I'm really excited to be talking about imprints. We're talking about resistance, talking about all these things, which really could make a big difference in the way that you perceive life, the way that you take on life. So last thing before I go is yesterday was not a great day in the markets for most of the instruments out there that if you guys trade those. So if you guys are having trouble with risk management, if you guys are having trouble with account sizing, or maybe even on the mental side, you get really high when the prices go up, but it's profits that you have not realized, which is the worst kind of profits, because you believe you have it and you actually don't. And you're not able to train your mind to understand how to make the best of that. Like not only train your mind, but also like technically what you do. If you guys are having trouble with some of these things, please do reach out. The program that I offer is a mental program, but I couple that with my mentors technical analysis program. And combined, it is a 3-month program that's going to put you in such a good spot by the time spring rolls around this year. So I'm really excited to be able to offer that. And I'm really excited to be able to share this with you guys. It just gives me so much energy for me to do this on a 4 times a week basis. But there's other things that I'm doing the other days which show that I'm committed to this. And I really hope this has been useful for all of you guys. I hope all of you have an outstanding weekend ahead. And we'll see you out there next Monday. Take care, guys. Much love. Cheers.